good team. You're feeling pretty good about your team working together. You've been defending each other. You have managed not to injure each other. Other than Unseen Hand yelling at Lifeline when he was upset, you know, I think you're working together pretty well. So we started off with 1 dot of team pool. I'd like you to take a 2nd dot of team pool for working together. So now you have 2 additional points you can draw from if you need to pad your score a little bit. Because I think you're really starting to see the effects of working together as a team. Sometimes losing together is just as effective for team building as winning together, because you all see each other working so hard and struggling. You feel worried, but you also feel proud at how well you're working together as a team. Lifeline, I'm going to bring it back around to you.
All right. Seeing as I don't have any particular, well, inhuman might, I did not take that. I am going to try again to punch.
Okay, that is just directly engaging a threat. Roll plus your danger.
That will be a 10.
All right, so you get to choose 2 from the list: resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. So not only do you solidly connect with the face of this ridiculously hostile robot, but you also get to choose 2 more things to do to celebrate your success.
I will create an opportunity for my allies. I was thinking that they're probably a bit off balance from the punch that was surprisingly effective.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that I would resist or avoid their blows.
Good job. So when she tries to respond with a grab and another burst of loud energy, you're out of the way before she can get to you. You, with the grace of a dancer that you didn't even realize you possessed, you roll out of the way. The blow and the noise miss you. And your robot opponent definitely did not seem to see that coming. So, Unseen Hand.
All right, so I'm gonna use my acrobatics, and I'm going to. I imagine they sort of staggered back a bit from the blow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run to them. I'm gonna kind of vault off of their body, and when I'm right above them, I'm just gonna shoot directly down like a really heavy arrow.
That is directly engaging a threat. So why don't you roll plus danger for me?
13.
I think you successfully hit your target. So choose 2 from the list of 4 choices, and then narrate to me what your arrow does as it strikes this robot from the top down.
Okay, I'm going to take something from them. That being the. Can I take away the entirety of the front part of their synthetic face?
Yes, you can. On a 13, you most certainly can.
And then I'm going to frighten them.
All right. So describe to me how the arrow goes down and blows the face off.
So I run up their body, plant a foot firmly on their shoulder, leap up into the air, maybe do a twirl or something, you know. I'm going to take the heaviest arrow I have, which is just a big metal like bolt at the end of it, shoot directly down so it scrapes across their nose line, and then as I land down, I'm just gonna kind of do that and just pull apart the face.
The robot, while fright is not quite the right word for a robot, the robot definitely emits some sort of something that would be the robot version of fear, as its face peels away like an electrical banana. An Unseen Hand lands lightly on his feet in front of her. The robot staggers and drops to its knees, its shoulders and its head slumped, its whole face layer lying on the street in front of it. This is a bit of a horror show. We've got some blue goo going on here, folks.
I'm gonna look into the bagel shop.
Everybody in the bagel shop is watching you through the window like...
I'm gonna like go in and say, okay, look. Hi. So we just killed that robot. Would it be too much to ask for just like a couple everything bagels?
Yeah, the Girl behind the counter kind of nods and she goes, and you can see through the window she's putting bagels into the bag, and she holds up a little container of cream cheese,
Yeah.
puts them into the bag, looks around, grabs a couple other bagels, writes something on a slip of paper, tucks it into the bag, rolls it down, hands it to the kid. The kid runs it to the door, hands you a bag of bagels.
Thank you. And I'm gonna head back to the group. So I got us some bagels.
Awesome.
So you've got a robot corpse and a bag full of bagels.
We should probably take this robot corpse to the other one and probably look to see what similarities and differences they had, because they obviously had different powers, so there's obviously something different mechanically.
Yeah, let's drag their body along with us again.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just gonna teleport us all.
So Crimson's going to teleport all of you. That's good. You've got your bagels. You've now got 2 robot corpses and a bag of bagels.
I'm going to look at the unseen hand and say, can you get me one of those arms for myself? My punch doesn't pack much, but I'm sure one of these arms will.
I mean,
Oh,
all of
absolutely,
the
absolutely,
robots
yeah.
have 2 hands, so that means all of us, in theory, could have a hand.
I'm gonna take the arm that I have and I'm gonna crack it firmly down on the shoulder and just split off another hand at her.
And the other one just pops
Yeah.
right out. Yeah, just
I'm also gonna take the other one. I'm gonna tie the 2 I have together to make sort of like a bow staff, but an arm bow
But,
staff, you know?
like
yeah, no, with
floppy
the
hands at the end.
would it even be
So it's a
floppy though?
bow
Because if
staff
it's a
with 2
robot, wouldn't the
floppy
joints like stiffen, or would it just be like a loose swivel?
It's just like a loose swivel. You've got
Can
your
I?
bow staff with 2.
Okay, this is a bit of stress. Can I go into Reggie's and ask for 2 like kitchen knives and just like tape the hands so now the hands, like each of the hands are holding knives and they sort
Yep.
of flop around as I attack?
You now have a bow staff with 2 floppy hands, each hand holding a kitchen knife. They're not like high quality knives, but I mean, still wouldn't want to be. I mean, I really wouldn't want to be hit by this in general, because just picturing this in my mind is.
What did the bagel cashier write down?
Her phone number.
I will
Crimson,
put it in my
Crimson got a
phone.
number. Crimson got a number.
Congrats.
Crimson's out
Get
there
'em.
living their best life. Crimson's like, beat a robot, got a girl's number, everything's great. Woo!
Don't forget the bagels.
Yeah, got a bag of free bagels. Unseen Hands like free bow staff, and Lifeline's like extra punchy thing.
Hey.
So now we have no arms on these robots. Blue goo.
All right, should we
Wires
decide
coming
our
out
team
everywhere.
leader?
I think there's 1 arm on one of them.
1 arm on one of them. So Crimson doesn't want an arm.
You know what? I'll take an arm.
No arms on the robots. Everybody's got a vaguely human looking arm dangling. All right, so you've got dismantled robot limbs fashioned into various and sundry types of new weaponry. You know, things are going pretty well here in Orphan Bridge Dweller Town, out back in the alley behind Reggie's. You know, it's a pretty good night as the sun starts to set. Only a few rats have come out so far. Might be a little just too much noise out there for most of the rats. One of them comes up and sniffs at the robot corpse and squeaks and runs away. There's the rest of the roaches. That's good. You know, Harold's family's all come to investigate. They don't seem to be interested in crawling on the robot corpses, so that's good.
Can I look into the face of the faceless robot?
Yes, you can, and it's gross.
So, like, is there anything I can see? Like, it's like wires and just the blue
Yes,
goop, right?
there's wires and goo and some sacks that maybe hold some goo. There's some vials with wires in them that also seem to have some goo. There's one really long, you're looking in the faceless robot's face. There's one really, really long red wire that seems to go back from around where the mouth would have been. And everything else inside the robot is pretty silver and blue, but this is a big red wire.
Can we go back to
I'm
the
gonna
other
like
robot?
hold it by the insulation of the wire.
Okay. Are you pulling the wire out?
I'm gonna kind of like tug it to see like how far it might go.
Oh, it comes out. You're sort of pulling hand over hand. out of the empty face of this robot, and you kind of reach a point where it seems like it's hung up. Maybe you could give it a good yank. You might be able to undo it, but that's entirely up to you.
I don't think I'm gonna unplug it.
I
Okay.
think it would blow up like a CO2 canister if we did that.
I mean, I think that the red wire leading to the mouth, canary scream, that's probably what's going on with the powers. The blue goop also probably has something to do with it, because I myself am not like an android robot builder, but I don't think that that's a normal part to put in them.
Normal part to put in a robot. All right. Unseen Hand, you wanted to look at the original robot?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back there. I guess I'll also slice its face off with one of my bow staff knives. And
Okay.
I'm just gonna see if there's another, like, I'm gonna slice open the whole body and just see if there's a big wire or something that would
Okay.
kind of tie into electricity.
This one doesn't have a big red wire. This one seems to have some additional maybe piston mechanisms in its body, maybe more of a punching version of the robot. They're very, very similar inside. I mean, clearly manufactured by the same person, not just by their outside mechanics. The layout of the wiring looks pretty similar as you're going through. You will notice as you're taking it apart, you're going to start to see some different kinds of electronical components. It's not just the wires and the goo. You're getting some processing, some little processors, and that might be its motherboard. I don't know. That's what's that? Getting some serial numbers off of things. Getting, starting to see some it's consistent technology, and there you find it. As you finally reach in and pull out what looks like the robot's central processor, you see the name at the bottom, written in a very familiar logo, Rook Industries. Rook Industries, of course, is the largest technological company in Halcyon City. Rook Industries is also notoriously corrupt. Imagine Tony Stark if he had kept on with the weaponry. Everybody knows.
So more like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, everybody knows that Rook Industries is dirty, but they're so wealthy that there's really nothing anyone can do, and they're pretty subtle about it. And they do a lot of perfectly great, wonderful things. They throw big charity events. They have scholarship funds for the students of Halcyon City. They do a lot for the city, so nobody really messes with Rook Industries. But at the very least, this one robot definitely has a part inside of it that was labeled Rook Industries.
Does the robot have any fans on the outside of its body?
No, it does not have any fans. It just has gross fake robot skin.
I think I'm gonna pull out the red wire.
All right, you pull up the red wire. You have to give it a pretty firm tug, and a piece comes up out of the mouth, the throat of the robot. It's a little bit gross, sort of like the opposite of watching a boa constrictor eat a mouse. You kind of pull it up, it bulges through the throat. And yeah, this is definitely some sort of device. It reminds you of that time that you threw the boombox and it exploded and the little sound pieces came off. And yeah, it looks like the inside of a music player. It looks like the inside of a device that would play music. And once again, stamped across the metal, Rook Industries.
I think that we really got to look into this Rook Industries stuff.
Do they have any factories or anything nearby?
Well, I mean, they have an entire skyscraper in the city center.
I mean, the one thing about going into the skyscraper would be they definitely have really good security. So maybe some undercover work, or it could just teleport us in. I wasn't thinking for the most part. I could teleport us into a bathroom.
Yeah.
That'd probably be better.
I figured that we would probably want to hide who we are.
I mean, I normally do, but I'm not sure how good the bandana is. So, I mean, we can always go to that costume shop that's conveniently near Reggie's and pick up some wigs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stealth isn't really my thing.
I think that you need to take off the sequins for one. To become
Okay, you can ask
really...
a lot of me, but the sequins stay, all right? Sequins
I
are
don't-
non-negotiable.
That's like your like one thing that like if I was to ask somebody that like saw you, it's like, okay, there was this one dude, he was like a hero or whatever. He had sequins, and as soon as I said the sequins, that's when it would click who you were.
Look, they're a part of me. You can't get rid of them. They stay.
Look, if it makes you feel better, I'll let you wear a sparkly fedora.
You drive a hard bargain.
The full sequin bodysuit just isn't gonna work.
Fine, but only for this one mission.
How is it that you
Obviously.
ended up with the name Unseen Hand and not the name Sequence? Okay, so are you Sequence now, Unseen Hand? That's how I would spell it, like that. I would spell it like sequin, but with the CE, sequence.
Oh, we never decided who should be the team leader. We need to do that because
Now the three of you are now meeting and you're making a plan for breaking in, so now's a good time to probably decide on that.
Lifeline is going to go out there and say that she will not be the team leader. She doesn't care what you say or how you propose it. She will not be with.
I was about to nominate Lifeline.
Oh no. Well, Lifeline's the only one who doesn't punch first and think later.
She'll go on some excuse about how she's too sickly and how someone who's actually a normal human should be it. They should be the face, and don't let her be it.
Oh.
And she'll promptly nominate Crimson.
Yeah, I think I'll nominate Crimson.
I mean,
Okay.
you got a random girl's number. That's pretty charming. We need someone charming to be the leader.
So, okay, Crimson, I guess you are driving this mission. Let's see what happens. So explain to me now, team, your steps. Why don't you just storyboard your way through it?
Okay, so first we go to the costume shop. We get Sequence, his sparkly fedora, and then the rest of his outfit that's inconspicuous. We also all get like long black wigs, and some of those like prosthetics that like if you were to apply them the right way, it could look normal in a certain circumstance. Like some of those ones for like noses, chins, like maybe like a wart.
You've got long black hair and fake noses and chins and a sparkly fedora.
That's only for Sequence.
All right, here we are at Rook Industries. So what's the plan? Team leader? How are you getting everybody in?
I'm gonna like teleport us to one of the staff bathrooms.
Okay. So you spin up your teleportation power. Everybody have to join hands. They can join robot hand. Are you carrying your robot arms with you, or have you left those behind at Reggie's?
Ooh.
I think mine's just in my backpack.
Do-
I disassembled it into the two
We have our
halves.
backpacks and we've all put our arms.
But
in
I can
the
always just
backpack.
like stick it together whenever I need to.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
it'll be fun.
Yeah,
Did you bring any of the Rook Industry pieces that you pulled out of the robots?
Maybe one.
Okay. All right.
We
so
left one at Reggie's to be like a backup just in case. Just in case any evidence that we have of Rook
Okay.
is going to be destroyed.
So by this point, it's getting pretty late. By the time you left the costume shop, they were closing up for the night. So when you teleport into the staff bathroom of Rook Industries, it's pretty quiet. They have the low lights that are probably what's left when you turn off all the main lights. If you go to the bathroom door and you listen out into the hallway, you don't really hear any noise. There might still be somebody here down at on the other end of the building. You can maybe hear some music playing from somebody's office, but it's not really loud. You don't hear voices. You hear kind of the creak, creak, creak wheels of somebody pushing a janitor's cart by. What?
So someone's pushing a janitor's cart by, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to burst open the door, pull the janitor into the bathroom, and then like knock them out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I would say the janitor is definitely startled, and I'm not even going to make you have to roll for that one because you have just snatched this poor gentleman up and clunked him over the back of the head. Hopefully he won't have brain damage or, die from having been hit over the head.
I'm gonna take the janitor's, like, does he have like a jacket that says like janitor or something on it?
He's got a jumpsuit with his name on it.
Oh.
His name is Pete.
Does he have like an ID?
Yes, he does have
Like
a badge. He has a badge. It's on a lanyard around his neck. It's got a picture of Pete. Looks like Pete's probably worked at Rook for a while because Pete in the picture has a lot more hair and for some reason it's bleached blonde. Pete, as you see him now, has brown hair and a very receding hairline. So clearly he has been at Rook for a while.
I'm gonna put the hood up so that they can't really see my face all that well, and I'm gonna take Pete's badge and put it on my parka, and then I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna start like wheeling the cart.
So
I'm gonna like gesture towards one of them to get in the front of like the little like basket of the janitor's thing,
so
where
you're
like
putting
the
one
trash
of them in the
goes.
cart. So who is getting in the front of the janitor's cart?
Absolutely not sequence.
So
No way
Lifeline,
would
are
he
you
go
getting
for that.
into the cart?
I'll do it.
So Lifeline settles
Don't
herself.
touch anything in there.
Before we do that, I want to pick up the janitor, check his humming to make sure he's not dying.
He's got a little bit of an asynchronous hum to his brain. It's a good chance that Crimson may have given him a concussion.
I'll pat him on the head, carefully put him on one of the toilets in the stalls and shut the stall door.
Okay. He groans a little, but he stays propped up in there, so that's good.
And then I'll jump into the janitor's thing.
All right. There's there's trash in there. It's trash. Luckily, it's office trash, so it's mostly shredded documents, empty coffee shop cups. Your foot might have landed in a Chinese takeout container, but all things considered, of the trash cans that you have experienced in your lifetime of superherodom, it's definitely not the worst. Compared to the alley at Reggie's, it's practically spring fresh.
Awesome.
So Crimson, dressed in their parka with Pete's badge, is now rolling Lifeline down the hall in the trash can, passing by. The offices are mostly dark. Most of the doors are closed. A couple of them are open, but you can see there's not very much in there. Down at the end of the hall, there is an office that has the light on, and you can see through the little glass partition that there is a woman at her desk. She's got headphones on. She's not paying attention to what's going on outside at all. You can just really see her face. Whatever she's working on, she's really concentrating on it.
I propose we go find the elevator and then try to take it to either the highest floor or the lowest floor we can go. That's where all the evil bad guy layers are always at.
Okay, so Crimson with Pete's badge, Lifeline being pushed in the cart, and Sequence just walking around like a regular dude, all head towards the elevator. Crimson swipes the badge, elevator opens. Hey, not a problem. Get into the elevator. You'll see there's 48 floors. Crimson can
I'm
swipe.
gonna go to floor 48.
All right. Okay, key card doesn't seem to work for floor 48.
Should we just try?
I'm gonna like glance at the office with the woman that's working really hard.
She's just still doing her thing. She looks like she's singing
Does she
to herself.
also have a key card?
Can't really see through the thing in the door. She's down at the other end of the hall from the elevator.
I'm gonna wheel the cart back and I'm gonna enter and I'm gonna go, oh, don't mind me just getting the trash.
Yeah, hi, Pete. She didn't even look up from the computer. She just, she's still hard at work.
Is there like one of those like little office trash cans, like those little really tiny ones, like
yes,
right there?
Yes, there is.
Like right next to her desk?
Yep.
I'm gonna go up to it, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna kind of like gonna glance up at like her computer, what she's working on, and then see if she has like a badge.
Yep, she does have a badge. It is around her neck, and she is just working away on the computer as it hangs there. You can probably could reach under her arm and grab it if you had something to cut the cord.
Would a psychic
Something to cut the
weapon-
cord, you say?
Something to cut the cord.
Would a psychic weapon cut it?
Sure. I mean, a psychic weapon can cut just about anything, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm gonna like say it. I'm gonna like kind of like accidentally like toss up like a little like bit of like trash or something like in a way that would make it so, oops, I have to reach over here now. Kind of way.
All right. She's really, whatever she's working on, she seems to be really deep into it. And as you glance at her screen, you realize she doesn't seem to be working about work. She seems to be writing fan fiction that involves her and some of the golden age superheroes of Halcyon City.
Oh no,
So,
self-insert.
So she's very hard at work, and she doesn't really seem to be paying too much attention. You are able to easily cut the cord, take her badge. She is very absorbed in her work, and rolling out. And she puts, "Thanks, Pete."
Lifeline will mutter, if you pour that trash can on me, bad things will happen to you.
Oh no! Crimson dumps the trash can in on top of Lifeline. Oh, you have, that smells like a chai latte. A chai
I'm sorry,
latte
I
cup
just have to make it believable.
bounces off of Lifeline's head. You've got, what is it, pencil
gonna-
shavings? Who even uses a pencil anymore?
I'm
You've
gonna
got-
give them a very disapproving nod and just go, "That was not stylish of you."
You would so do the exact same thing.
I definitely would, but
That was not stylish of you. Oh my. All right, so you make your way back to the elevator with
Lifeline
your
will mutter something about keeping one eye open when you sleep and permanent damage.
So swipe the card. This one does seem to take you up to floor 48. So, all right, you're riding up. You got in the elevator. It's taking its time. Getting some elevator music. It's Girl from Ipanema. Da, 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 da. This might be a good time for you three to decide what you're going to do when you finally make it to the 48th floor.
yeah, I think so. There's probably gonna be some like execs up there, right? Or maybe like one big guy. I think
Maybe.
we can either talk our way through it, or we can just punch them. As another
Ding!
option.
You're on floor 35, and the elevator
35.
doors open.
I'm just gonna like sort of stand to the side and just like look a little bit away, like I'm gonna stand like next to the buttons and just sort of like turn my head a bit so you can't.
I'm
really
gonna
see me.
move the janitor cart out of the way of the door, and I'm gonna look to see who's entering.
I try to cover myself in more trash to make it
Because
obvious
we
that there
tried
is
to get
not
to
a person.
floor
in
48, so
the
this is obviously an unscheduled arrival.
You have a heavy-set man in a suit. He's paying close attention to his phone. Oh, wait. Is this going up or is this going down?
I believe it's going up.
Oh, that's fine. I'll wait for the next one. He gets back out. The doors close behind him. And the music continues as you begin going back up. Da, da, da,
I vote that we just punch him.
da, 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 da.
I mean,
All right, so elevator now up at the top floor. Ding, doors open. Yeah, you've definitely reached the executive level of the building. It is, you didn't even know that they made this much marble. It is white marble as far as the eye can see. There's a couple of office doors, and of course it's not like the regular door. They're these ornate doors. It's got like the smoked glass around it, so you can't see through, but you can see the light gently emanating from the offices. No crappy music up here. It's like symphony music being gently piped in through the speakers, and it's ambient. You can't find out where the speakers even are. It's like the music is just coming from the walls themselves. It's a pretty nice gig, probably working in the Rook Industries building. Okay. So now what, friends?
Looking forward, do I see like any big desks or anything like that? Any doorways leading anywhere?
Well, there's clearly some desks that belong, or there's some smaller offices that probably belong to the personal assistants of the executives. A couple of the doors do have names on them. Some of them you've seen in the news. They appear at galas and things like that. Nobody of any particular, it's not like it's, oh yes, this is Mr. Sinister and that's his real name. Nothing like that, but definitely some big names that you see. There is not an office for the company owner. So you do not see any last names Rook on any of the doors. But you have a couple of names that you recognize.
From what I know about Rook Industries, is there anyone that I know who's sort of like the head of like engineering androids or anything like that, like artificial intelligence?
Well, there is Dr. Madhavi who works there.
I'll go to her to work.
Yeah, you do, and you find an office for Dr. Madhavi. She is the person who mostly works. She's known for her work in light refraction. So she does a lot of technology where it's like sending messages through light signals and things like that. So her office is immaculately clean, very, very tidy, everything in its place, everything is labeled. There's not a lot of personalized items around. She's got several mirrors hung in the office, which is the only really unusual thing, is that she has several different types of mirrors, most of them very decorative, most of them, like in a frame, like you would hang a picture. And on her desk where you would have pictures of family, she has mirrors in those frames as well.
What does she look like by chance?
What does she look like? She's a face you've seen on the news. She's dark complected. She has dark hair, wears it in a pretty stylish, it's close cropped on one side, long on the top. She tends to dress, in a way that is like big ornate jewelry, again, very often with diamonds or mirrors in them. She really takes her work with light pretty seriously. In fact, you can see at the Halcyon Gala that happened not that long ago when they did the red carpet, her whole dress had tiny little mirrors sewn into it. She and her wife are both big donors to the charity that the gala raises money for. So she was quite decked out. If you happen to, follow local celebrity gossip, which, let's be real, you're teenagers, you probably do.
Are any of the mirrors like angled towards each other in any way, shape, or form?
Oh, you can see pretty much any of the mirrors from any of the mirrors in the office. That if you look at any of them, you can see.
Let's start turning.
Can I like shine a light on one of the mirrors?
Yes, and it bounces off and away.
So it doesn't hit another mirror?
Yeah, it bounces off another mirror, but it doesn't do anything really.
I'm gonna. She has like an office computer, right?
Yeah, she does have an office computer.
Can I boot it up?
You can boot it up. It is password protected.
I'm gonna look around for some documents.
Okay, she has a file drawer in her desk. It's a really nice desk, like wooden desk. It's not like the cheap metal one. So you can kind of.
Any like sticky notes with passwords or anything like that?
Nope, nothing like that. She has, she's got files, but the files are mostly specs on various technology.
At this point, I'm
guessing some
gonna.
passwords.
Can I just put mirror in? Try.
You tried mirror. Mirror does not work.
Reflection.
Reflection does not work.
I'm gonna climb out of the janitor's basket and start brushing myself off.
Okay.
Try not to get into too much trash in here. This office is pretty immaculate. I think she'll notice if we leave a couple of scraps of paper.
I'll do my best.
Probably so.
I'm not sure we'll find much in here.
Can I do like that mega mind moment thing where like like I think her name's like Roxanne. Like she like goes back and like all the magazines covers like show and they like show the epic picture of Titan. Except it's mirrors.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, nothing about the mirror seems really to be weird other than the fact she has so many of them.
I just think this may be a lady who, alongside being married to her wife, is also married to her work.
Definitely seems like a woman who is married to her work.
Also seems kind of egotistical.
But does not seem to be somebody who specializes necessarily in making androids.
Then I guess to a different room.
All right. Okay. As you keep heading around, many of the offices are going to be pretty similar in the sense that they're going to have very nice desks. Some of them have plants. Most of them have actual photographs instead of mirrors. You're going to get around to a corner office where you are going to notice that the name on the door says Reginald Carter. So if you go into Reginald Carter's office, you find that his work does seem to be devoted to robotics, android of some sort. So looking around, yeah, like this might be the guy. This might be the guy, if you start looking through his files, that you might find the information that you're looking for. Oh, what was that sequence?
And into the files we delve.
Into the files we delve. All right, into the files we delve. So as you're looking through, you start to notice that it seems to be really like he doesn't have many schematics files in his drawer, but what he does have is a client list. His files seem to primarily be clients, not individual types of robots or anything like that. You see files on clients. And if you look through, some of them are names you recognize, and some of them are names you recognize as being not so savory people, and they're getting various and sundry types of electronics. But a lot of them seem to just be wealthy individuals who are getting robots for various and sundry reasons. You know, personal work around the house. Looks like at least one of them has gotten an android to serve as a body double for himself. But as you're going through, you finally hit a file that seems to have a robot that looks a lot like the robots that you have seen that day. You can see that it is a fairly lifelike female robot. She has got the white hair. So let's maybe take a look at the information there in that file.
As we read the file, I'm just going to take a quick photo of it for future reference.
That's probably a good idea. And you notice that the last name on the file is Vallis. Vallas. The name is Vallis. First name is Lena. And now, any of you happen to maybe have a focus in music who might be familiar with popular musicians over the past few years?
I'd say Crimson.
Yeah, so
Crimson's
Crimson
entire thing is
probably
music.
recognizes the name Lena Vallis. Lena Vallis performed under a stage name. And the stage name that she performed under was, you can't quite think of it. It reminded you to do with some kind of bird. Maybe a swan, Cygnus. Cygnus was the stage name that she performed under. And now that you think of it,
How is that spelled?
Cygnus. And now that you think about it, you realize, she wore her hair very similarly to how those robots did. Only she kept hers in sort of a pointy V in the front, but that straight cut white blonde hair, you remember her. She had one really, really popular song, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And then it was like she just dropped off the face of the earth. She put out the full album and it was not what was expected. Everybody thought after the first song, it was going to be a really big deal. And she had booked all these tours, and then the album tanked and she pretty much dropped out of public life. So okay. You've got a name. Looks like she ordered at least 6 of these robots. The price tag is hefty. 3 of them seem to be the punchy kind of robot that you fought in the first location. The others seem to be the noise-making robot. They all have the cone of silence. They have sound dampeners in them. This was a special request from her. This doesn't seem to be, looking through the other files, this doesn't seem to be the type of robot that they usually make. So this was a special request from her, and the price tag is high. This is not an inexpensive piece of machinery. And Rook pretty much has a, we don't ask our clients what they plan to do with our equipment policy. So there doesn't seem to be any kind of notations about what they were planning to do with the robots. But at the very least, now you have a name, and you also have, more importantly, a delivery address.
Oh, good.
All right.
That address being to?
That address being to an expensive high-rise apartment not too far from where you are right now.
Suppose we should head there then.
Yeah.
I suppose we've finished everything we need here.
Okay, so are you going to clean up after yourselves and make it look like no trace was there, or are you going to just be like, whatever, leaving a mess?
I'm gonna let's clean up behind ourselves. We are taking over the janitor's job, after all.
Okay, well, that's good. It's good that if you've given the man a concussion, you're at least not going to leave any extra work for him. So you clean up behind yourselves, leave no trace. I hope you're wiping up the fingerprints as you go, tucking everything away. You've got your photographs of the file. How are you planning to exit the building?
Teleportation.
Out a window? Oh, no, teleportation would probably make more sense.
Okay, so are you taking the cards with you or leaving them behind, the key cards?
I'm gonna put the cards, I'm gonna drop one outside of the lady's office to make her think that she dropped it on her way in, and I'm gonna pin the card back to Pete and push the janitor's cart in the bathroom with him.
Okay, so Crimson takes a little time to hop around and return key cards to a less suspicious place, hopefully not get Pete into any trouble. Pete does seem to be stirring, so you may want to get out of that bathroom quickly because you're hearing his elbows banging. What's going on here? How did I get in here? So
don't worry about it, and then I'm going to teleport us out.
Crimson grabs her team by the hand with that one final phrase of wisdom and teleports them out of there, back down into the streets of Halcyon City. So next stop, I guess, is the apartment building? Or are you going to recoup and plan before you go?
We should probably recoup.
Yeah,
Back to
would
Reggie's.
probably be a good idea.
Okay, so you go back to Reggie's with the information that you have. So
munching on a bagel.
Munching on a bagel. Anybody doing any kind of research to make a plan for what's going to happen?
I think
Yeah. Can I pull up a laptop and just see what all is in that area?
A laptop arrow?
Laptop arrow. It's his laptop arrow.
Thinking more just like a normal phone or something. Or
Probably just like a normal
laptop.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice part of town. There's a couple high-rise apartment buildings. A lot of them on the floor level either have restaurants. I think there's a nightclub down there. Definitely a lot of the big names in the entertainment industry in Halcyon live there. There's quite a few superheroes who live in the area. It's kind of a place that you live when you have money if you want to stay in the city. So nice part of town.
Can I also
I
want to look up what happened to Lena Vallis after she sort of dipped off the radar. What all? Because there's always that one article 5 years later, whatever happened to such and such.
I'd like to also look into a bit more Lena Vallis, but more of the celebrities that she hung out with.
Okay, so one of the first things that you uncover about Lena Vallis is that, in fact, she is a lot like you. She was known as not just an up-and-coming pop star, but an up-and-coming potential superhero, known for her power of sonic waves. And in fact, she would often incorporate that into her music, which might have been why the other songs on the album did not have the same degree of popularity as the first song. People referred to them as ear piercing. This album made my ears bleed, literally, said one reviewer. So somebody who was maybe not quite successful with their superpowers, not quite successful with their music, 5 years later, in fact, Sequence, you do hit on an article. Because there's always a where are they 5 years later? And she says in the interview, I've been living a quiet life. I've been working on my music, but I've been planning a comeback. So we'll just have to see what the future holds. It was pretty short. It's like a BuzzFeed, where are they now?
And how many years ago was that?
Yeah, it's only from about 3 months ago or so.
Oh, perfect.
Were there any like drama articles about, oh, she's hanging out with this person now?
She really seems to keep to herself. The only person she really has a relationship with is her manager.
Does her manager have any social media?
He does have a lot of social media, but it's about as boring as it gets. Ads for his clients' albums, ads for his clients' movies. There's nothing about Lena on there, though.
Does he have like a selfie on there?
Yeah, he does, and he looks exactly like what you would imagine a manager of pop stars look like. Aging white man, gone a little paunchy. Hair probably doesn't look like the hair that he was born with. Tan definitely doesn't look like the tan that he was born with. Teeth are too white. Rings are all gold.
Okay, guys, this might seem a little bit outlandish, but if one of us dressed up like the manager to go to the apartment complex, and then we'll pretend like we're like assistants, and this is what Lena's big comeback is.
Are you saying that I get to wear gold rings in a suit?
And I'm also saying you get to pretend to be a aging, balding white man.
That is half awesome.
I'm not sure how well I'll work as the assistant, though. My
I'll
appearance
just say
is
you're
not
like a
very
horrible
normal.
burn victim, so you're covered head to toe in bandages. It'll be fine.
I don't think my skin exactly looks like a burn victim.
You
Radiation poisoning, whatever, either one. It's fine.
She'll take part of her bandages off, and it quite frankly looks like her hand is of a corpse's.
Ooh.
They don't get sick leave even in death.
This is my new client, Corpse Rose.
Don't worry about
So
it.
are we gonna do that,
Makes
or are we
death
just gonna go
metal.
there?
So is Sequence dressing up as the manager? Okay, so
I'm gonna get big shoulder pads. I'm gonna like stuff some like sheets or pillows up into my suit to make me look a little bit bigger. I'm gonna wear maybe some like flats that have like maybe like a bit of height to them, like some boots or something. Make me look a little bit taller and more adulty. Like a bald cap on with
his
some
name
like
is
balding.
Lawrence Middleton, by the way, but he goes by Lars.
Of course he does.
So you are now dressed up as Lars Middleton?
Yep.
Okay, and
Can
Crimson and Lifeline are dressed as Lars Middleton's assistants.
I put some like wash
we have,
offable paint on Birdman to make him look like some like rare bird breed that some nonsense manager would have?
Sure.
Like I'm wearing like a like professional, but like still like fight against the man clothes. I don't know what that would look like, but that's about what I'd wear.
I'm just gonna go with like a black, long-sleeved, and a fit dress, and quite frankly looks like if I was in hot weather, I'd just be melting. Just very thick, and I'm wearing gloves, tall boots. I'll keep my scarf.
Okay, gonna keep your scarf.
By the way, Crimson is totally keeping on prosthetics.
Okay, so you arrive at the apartment building of Lena Vallis, As you walk in, you'll see that there is a reception desk where there is a young man and a young woman, and they're both dressed in professional uniform type uniforms. You know, they kind of look like a valet in a nice apartment complex, hats and everything. And they both look at you a little, excuse me, can we help you?
Did I get to find a video of him at any point?
Yeah, you've
what
found
kind
some
of voice
videos.
does he talk in?
A big, booming kind of movie guy voice.
I'm gonna look over at him and be like, "Hey, recognize me or something. Get over here. Come on, give me a hug."
The two look at each other, and the young woman looks really, really uncomfortable. No, I'm supposed to stay behind the desk. Can we
it's
help
fine.
you?
Hey, can I roll to mislead or distract?
Roll to mislead or distract. So let's see. What would that even be? What would you even roll for that?
It's one of my moves. It's
Oh,
are you
okay.
watching closely?
Yeah,
When you
okay.
mislead, distract, or trick someone, roll
Yes.
plus superior.
Yes. Then roll plus your superior, please, by all means.
It's my superior. Okay. Oh, I have a +2 to superior. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
That's a 12.
Okay, so you get to choose 3 from your list then. So on a hit, they are fooled, at least for a moment. So choose
On
3.
a 10, yeah.
So you get an opportunity, you expose a weakness or flaw, you confuse them for some time, and you avoid further entanglement. So which of the 3 would you like to choose?
I'm going to get an opportunity, confuse them for some time. Actually, I'm going to confuse them for some time, avoid future further entanglement, and then expose a weakness or flaw.
Okay. So, I am so sorry, says the young man behind the desk. Oh, Mr. Middleton. Mr. Middleton, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Please don't tell Miss Vallis that I didn't recognize you when you came in. Have you lost some weight? Is that a new haircut? Please don't tell her. Please don't tell her. She gets so angry when I don't just send her people straight up.
No, don't worry about it. It's fine. And I did cut down some weight. Thank you for noticing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Go right up, Mr. Milton. Should I ring Miss Vallis and let her know you're on your way up?
No. She's already expecting me. Tell you what, what's your name? Let me put a good word in for you.
Doug.
Aye, Doug, I'll remember you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Middleton. So the two at the desk are worriedly talking to each other as you go to the elevator to go up. Elevator doors close. Whew. That was a close
As
one.
we pass by the desk, I'm gonna take a little bit of act like a fancy rich person. I'm gonna take a little lint off of my clothes and kind of flick it towards the desk.
Oh yeah, they are really worried and afraid that they're going to be losing their job for not paying attention. And the young man, Doug, is promising he's never going to be on his phone at work again because he should have seen you when you came in, Mr. Middleton. So here we go. We're going up. Of course, you didn't ask what floor she lived on.
Look, it would have been suspicious.
Hey,
all right.
wait, you know
it
in
should have been on.
no, you know in
the
apartment complex, the buzzcom system,
Mm-hmm.
where there's the name next to the room that you buzz.
Not in an apartment building of this caliber.
Okay.
That's like a regular person apartment building. This is a rich person.
By
this is a
chance,
rich
was
person.
it on the was the room on the address that we found?
No, it was not. It was delivered to the lobby, at which point I'm sure they knew where to take it.
All right. Well, how many floors are there?
Stalker that has her apartment number.
Ooh, you're gonna look for a stalker lifeline? Okay.
These are someone on the internet has unhealthy obsession with her.
Okay. Does anybody have a skill that might let them find that? You could just start
That's
Googling.
no for me.
You could just.
I mean, I will. I mean, I'm sure that in my youth, like when I was like really into Lena Vallis, I was on multiple like forums, just absolutely fanning over this singer.
Well, you don't find her address, but you do find that Lena loves the number 11 and hates the number 8.
I'm going to floor 8.
Going to floor 8. Bold move sequence. All right.
It's reverse psychology.
Reverse
I think she'll be
psychology.
hiding out in floor 8 because everyone knows that she hates it.
Okay. So the elevator opens to a lovely hallway. It's got Italian tiled floors. It's wallpapered in a gentle textured pattern. The light is very nice. There's potted plants. There's 4 doors on each side of the hallway. So these are all pretty spacious apartments. So you have—
Are the doors numbered?
They are lettered. You have A, B, C, D down one, E, F, G, H down the other.
Do they have peepholes?
Yes, they do have peepholes.
I'm going to look through the peephole and see if there's anyone who has like instruments lying around, maybe some posters.
Well, when you
looks like
peer
I need
in from the outside of a peephole, it makes things smaller. So you don't really get a good sense of anything other than light or dark. Some of the apartments are light and some of them are dark.
Are there windows around the outside?
Can I
of it?
just teleport into rooms like quickly?
I was gonna have Birdman cycle around the building and see if there's like windows.
Well, there's windows around the outside of the building. Yes, absolutely. You'd have to get Birdman outside.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I mean, is there a window in the lobby?
Yes, sure. We'll say there's a window in the
I'll
lobby.
just crack the window and let Birdman out and have him like circle around. And let him know if he sees any
So
like.
Birdman
musical
circles
instruments.
around. Is Crimson just randomly teleporting into various apartments? So you teleport into the first apartment, and looks pretty much all very nice. The furniture is very nice, and whoa, you did not mean to walk in on that. If I were you, I'd teleport out of there right away. That is definitely not Lena Vallis. So Crimson comes back into the hallway, having been exposed to things they never wanted to see.
Unfortunate.
So Birdman flies back in the window. Do you speak, Bird?
Oh.
No, but I imagine I told him to come back to me. Like he can lead me to the room.
Well, so he hops. You know how birds hop when they're on there. He hops down the hallway and pecks, peck, 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 on door number C.
I'm gonna. Is there a crack under the door?
It's pretty flush. You might be able to slide a sheet of paper, but not an arrow or anything like that, if that's what you were thinking. Arrow guy.
Is the door locked?
Yes, the door is locked.
Teleport us in.
All right. Crimson teleports Sequence and Lifeline with them into the apartment, and Birdman too, of course. The entire apartment is decorated in white leather furniture, white rugs on the floor. There's awards from the popular single. There's posters advertising her albums. There's photographs of her on the white carpet. This is somebody who is definitely in love with her own image. Doesn't seem to be anybody in the apartment. So you want to sort of spread out and explore or go together?
We should probably stick together. Let's start looking around. I'm gonna start looking around for like any evidence of the robots.
I want to look for like a personal planner.
Okay. So you kind of look through the living room, and it's one of those, like, everything that's out there, the whole room looks like it's staged for a magazine shoot. You go into the kitchen, dishes look like they've never been touched. The refrigerator is a few takeout containers and like fancy protein drinks and smoothies and smart water and things like that. So this is not somebody who really cooks at home or probably even eats at home. As you walk down the hallway, you pass a bathroom. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, but the rooms are all quite spacious. The bathroom is very nice, marble floors, big deep jacuzzi tub, shower, nobody in there. You walk back into the bedroom. Again, it's the all white decoration, white furniture, white bedding, big white fur rug on the floor that you think might be polar bear of all things. I'd like all of you to roll to assess the situation.
That's a 4, but I still get to ask one question even on a fail, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, why don't you tell me what your question is?
What here is useful or valuable to me?
What here is useful or valuable to you? There is a lot of valuable stuff around this apartment, and a lot of it could probably be quite useful to you personally, but you really get a sense that you might find something that you're looking for in the closet. All right.
7.
Sequence. All right. Which question would you like to ask?
I'm gonna ask, what here is the greatest danger, or what here is the biggest threat?
What here is the biggest threat? Something about the dimensions of the room are not quite right. Something about the dimensions of the room make you very uncomfortable. You walk into the hallway, you walk back into the bedroom, you walk into the hallway again. No, something here is not right.
Can I start like knocking on walls, see if there's like
You
mirrors
can
everywhere?
start knocking on walls. Lifeline. What did you roll?
That's a 6 for me.
A
That
6.
-1 superior bites.
Okay, so mark yourself a potential. And you mostly just notice, wow, this place is like really, really white. Like, how does she not just put smudges or fingerprints on everything?
Right.
You're starting to worry, like, how am I even going to like sit or touch anything in here? I'm going to leave like zombie handprints. Oh, wow, that's some really high thread count cotton on those sheets. That's amazing.
I'm gonna look in the closet.
Okay, so it looks like a normal closet. You know, all the clothes are white satin dresses, white blouses, white skirts, white high heels of different heights. Up on the top, there's some boxes that look like they probably have hats or possibly more shoes. But again, like, you feel like you really need to keep investigating this closet. Sequence, what are you doing? You with me, Sequence?
Yeah. I'm just gonna start like peering around, like looking in every nook and cranny, see if there's any evidence of robots.
As you look in the closet, you realize why the dimensions of the room feel wrong. That closet, way more shallow than it should be. That looks like it should have probably been a deep walk-in closet, but it's not. It's like a shallow hotel closet in there.
I want to knock on the back wall.
I want to punch the back wall.
Oh.
Let's try and knock it first to see if there's actually something behind there.
Well, Crimson knocks on it and hears a metal thunk, thunk, thunk. Sequence punches it. Sequence has busted his knuckles. Sequence is probably in a lot of pain right now as he has just punched into a panel of steel.
Sequence, did the assassin people never tell you not to punch metal? Or not to
Look,
check to see what you're punching?
I didn't pay very much attention. There was a reason they were trying to kick me out.
I'll like carefully grab his hand and say, I spend most of my time in hospitals. I totally know what I'm doing, and I'm going to try to start healing it.
Well, the pain gets better, and the
I want to
knuckles mostly go back into the right spot.
I want to teleport like on the other side of the metal.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right, Crimson, alone.
I'll like put like a hand on each of their shoulders and teleport.
Okay, Crimson teleports behind the panel, and you find yourself in a room. It is bigger even than the walk-in closet that you expected. Oh, look, there's a powered down, partially dismantled robot in the corner. Got some computer equipment, got some recording equipment. What has she been like digitally mixing music on the computer here? What is going on?
She could be recording her screams and then putting them in the robots because it was like a speaker that we pulled the red wire out to the mouth.
Yeah. I'm going to pull out my phone and take like a long recording of all of the room.
Okay. Sequence, what are you doing?
I'll start just like poking around, seeing if there's any like activated robots, and just making sure the room's safe overall.
I'd like to go over to the computer and like.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Lena has been mixing some sound recordings here. You don't know if she did them in the studio and brought the music home, but if you press the button, you can hear briefly the ear-piercing scream of Lena Vallis, and then I imagine quickly turn it off. So that is definitely the sound that you heard coming from the robot. So you are correct in your suspicion that she was recording her voice for that, but that's not all you're finding. I mean, it looks like it's a whole album of songs that she has on her computer, but her sonic scream is laced through all of them.
She's either obsessed with her sonic scream, or her sonic scream just something more than just making people's ears bleed.
Or she's gonna take over the world with her music.
Yeah.
Like that, like, you know, like the dog and spy, like the dog spies in the cat spy movie where like the cat was trying to take over the planet. I don't know how this has a connection to what we're talking about, but like it has.
Or
You hear
maybe
the
she's
slam.
gonna use it to rupture the eardrums of
You
all
hear
her,
the slam of the front door.
opponents.
Oh no. Crimson, take us out.
You can hear the click, 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 click of high
Crimson.
heels coming down the hallway.
I'm gonna like prepare my hands on their shoulders to teleport us out.
I'm gonna really quickly hit the off button on the computer.
Click, click, click.
I grab Crimson's hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the hand.
You can hear somebody walking through the bedroom. Hear the sound of the clothes sliding around on the clothes thing.
Quick.
And you hear a hiss and a metallic noise as the door starts
I'm gonna
to
teleport.
slide open.
I'm gonna
All
teleport
right.
us out.
Oh. And you catch just a brief glimpse of Lena as you are teleporting out of the room. All right. Where did you teleport to, Crimson?
Reggie's.
Teleporting back to
Yay.
Reggie's. Teleporting back to Reggie's. So Lifeline has pictures of everything that you found there.
Lifeline like dramatically grabs her chest. You're going to give me a heart attack. Oh.
That was a close call.
Is it
call.
possible for you to have a heart attack? I thought that part of the whole like rotting thing was that couldn't really
I'm
happen.
pretty sure that the rotting is only superficial. The doctors haven't figured it out. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I'd imagine you're sort of a walking enigma of medical science.
Yeah, that's effectively what I am. But the rotting hasn't really gotten into my head. It's not gotten too far in, so I'm probably good to go for now.
Okay, so you're back at Reggie's. What's the plan?
Battle plan time. All right, so she's probably going to be still in the recording booth when we go in there soon. We need at least one person at the doors. Probably Lifeline, because I imagine she's like kind of bulky. Maybe.
Are you
Yeah, kind of frail, but
She's frail.
Okay.
She's a frail zombie girl.
Frail zombie girl. All right,
Like,
maybe
if-
Crimson stays at the door, and
if
then
it
if
comes
Lena tries to
down-
get closer,
Yeah, I
you just
have the most.
teleport away.
I kind of have the most ranged attacks out of all of us with my.
Okay.
I have a
psychic
bow.
weapons. I mean, yeah, that is also.
I mean, I was thinking that'd be a
truth.
ranged character, but I can also just like, kind of like first book Harry
I
against
can
the
be
Squirrel, like grab
melee.
them and try to suck their vitality through my hands.
Ooh.
That's true. You can go up melee. I can be mid range. So, assuming that she's at the computer, you can go up, distract her. I can protect you if you need to. Me and Birdman can shoot off some shots, focusing more on like trick arrows that would like hinder her movement, or maybe like try to shut her mouth closed. And then
Donovan, I'm also like kind of like the perfect distraction. Like imagine like someone like hits you in the face, it's instantly away, hits you behind, hits, like teleportation.
Let's just flurry of blows them. All right,
Yeah,
ready
So
to
is
do
it-
this?
Is it murder hobo time?
I think it might be justified murder.
The
hobo.
heroes of masks don't kill though.
Oh,
It
are we
was a
supposed to just
mess.
Speak for yourself. Well, okay, well, we're not going to kill her. We are going
Okay.
to put her under custody.
All right.
She's obviously doing something fishy.
We're putting
Yeah,
her under
conspiracy.
custody, but it's unclear whether she'll be conscious or not.
Okay. So
May or
is,
may not have a few brain
is
injuries.
Crimson
So that's from the
teleporting you
point.
back in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where do you guys
where-
want to be teleported in the building that we've been?
Let's well, because if we do it at the door, she's just gonna hear the door opening because we know we can hear that. So maybe like once you go through the doors, there's a bit of a hallway before you get into the room.
Into the secret room?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
it goes straight from the back of the closet into the room.
okay, there's no like lip of the wall or anything. It's just like a direct doorway.
That's a
In the
direct-
door, in that room, is there any like cover?
in the hidden room.
Wasn't there
Secret
like a
No.
there a desk with the
There's a
robot on
computer
it?
desk. There is a computer desk.
Where was the
If
robot?
she's recording, she's most likely facing the computer. So if I'm
Yes.
able to teleport us behind,
You could teleport behind her. The room is kind of narrow, but you could definitely teleport in there behind her.
In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna notch like a, I guess like
I'm gonna send a quick text to the bagel girl. I'm saving the city, baby. Send. Silence the phone. Pocket. Bagel in hand. Let's go.
do this. All right, I'm gonna notch an arrow. I'm gonna go with like a glue or like an ice arrow maybe, something that'll like stop like something that can like restrict her mouth basically.
Okay.
Like a hit wraps like rolls and rolls of duct tape or whatever
Okay.
that kind of thing.
I'm gonna take off
I'm gonna
the
go ahead and like notch
bandage off my
that.
hand. Get prepared to get physical.
All right. Are we
If
doing
anything,
this?
just one
Let's do this.
planned frisbee throw of a bagels.
Delicious bagels. All right.
Psychic bagel.
Y'all brace yourself. You team up. You get where you're going to go.
We got team pool, guys. Come on.
We got team
And
pool.
also
We
because
can
we're
do
going
this.
in to fight a direct threat as a team, we get extra +2 at the team pool.
Yes, you
So
do.
we'll have like 3 for this fight.
Because you're planning together to go in as a team. Extra +2 to the team pool. So you now have a total of 3 in
Does
your team
everyone
pool.
have the same purpose in this fight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Beat up.
Hey, the leader has influence over every teammate.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So,
So,
you come
we
up with
have
more
5.
reasons for 5 team pool. Hey, way to use
That's
that team
good.
pool sequence. All right. So you have 5 points you can draw from to bolster your score as needed. So let's not forget those as we go in. Here we go. We're ready to teleport.
Let's do
Yep.
this.
Boom. You teleport, you drop down right behind Lena. She has her headset on. She's grooving to her own music. She
Shout
is
my
looking
name.
at. Okay. So I'm going to have you roll to directly engage a threat sequence.
And I'm
Sounds
guessing
good.
you're trying to take away her voice.
Yeah, no, I'm hitting her right in the back with a gag arrow.
Mom.
Something like
What
that.
what kind of arrow? A gag arrow?
I guess I got a
Sure.
7.
Okay, so you can pick one. Resist or avoid the blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I'm gonna, I guess, surprise them.
Okay, she's definitely surprised and thrown off her guard. She stands and tries to scramble to get away, and she turns to face you. Crimson.
I'm gonna like teleport behind her and try and like put like one hand over her mouth.
Okay, I'm going to still say
And-
that is directly engage a threat. So why don't you give me a roll plus your danger?
That is the lowest I could have possibly rolled.
Oh no.
That is a 2.
Oh,
Unless
I
I
don't even.
take team pool, but
if
I
you
don't want to
took-
take it all.
As if you took all 5 points of team pool, you might be successful.
Yeah, I'm putting out a please don't do that.
You're putting out
Yeah.
a please don't do that.
I don't
So-
want to take all 5.
As you try to grab her and put her hand behind her back, you I don't know, you just kind of bobble it. Like sometimes, your hands just don't grab how you want them to, and it's just awkward. And you're kind of glad Bagel Girl wasn't there to see it because it would have been a little bit embarrassing. Make sure you mark your potential.
Yeah.
And she gives you a good, strong shove off. In fact, I would like you to roll to take a powerful blow as she shoves you backwards into the wall.
It's an 11.
An 11. So you must choose to remove yourself from the situation, lose control of yourself and your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list: lashing out verbally, provoking a teammate to hardy action, or taking advantage of your influence to inflict a condition, giving ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or struggling past the pain and marking 2 conditions.
I'm perfectly fine if you provoke me.
Okay,
I'm also
I'm going
perfectly
to
fine if you
give
provoke me.
ground and I'm gonna lash out verbally.
Okay, so you do get knocked back against the wall. You're knocked outside of an easy range to grab her, and you lash out. What is it that you say to Sequence?
The sequence don't even look that good.
Oh,
Harsh, harsh. Oh,
holy.
wow, that's pretty rough. So, would you say that makes you angry? What
I
condition?
guess, yeah.
I think that, yeah, so you are now
I-
working with angry. You now have the condition of angry, which is -2 to comfort or support someone, or piercing the mask. So, lifeline.
All right.
What are you doing? Why don't
I am
you?
going to like stare at her with the piercing eyes I have, use my uncovered hands that'll look all grotesque and rotten, and reach out for her shoulders and directly engage a threat.
I think you better roll to directly engage that threat.
That is a 3, but using not human enough, I can still use I can still do one of the things listed under directly engage a threat.
Okay, so are you going to resist or avoid her blows, take something from her, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten her?
I want to frighten her with my horrible looking appearance that I now have my grotesque hands on her, and that I'm not letting go.
She is frightened. She screams and stumbles backwards. She's scrambling back over her computer table, knocking her monitor over, trying to get out of your grasp. She is terrified. Brings us
Good.
back to you, Sequence.
All right, so she's currently by the computer desk.
Yes, she is.
Okay, I'm gonna run up against the wall, sort of bounce off of it, notch 3 arrows, do a 360 in the air, and just shoot them at her.
I need you to roll plus freak to unleash your powers, because this is a big mood for you.
That is a 8.
Okay, then describe to me how you go through the process. Tell me how you unleash your powers.
Good. Some bounce off the wall, 360 in the air. 3 different arrows, right? Top one, boxing glove arrow, right to the noggin. Middle one, shock arrow, right in the chest. Bottom one, what are they called? Bolas?
Yes, like a bolo.
Yeah,
A bolo.
basically, yeah, bolo arrow. Right at the legs. I'm just gonna do all of that at the same time, right at her.
All right. So you also, because, it is exciting, fun time, and unleashing your powers is good, but also brings negative along with it. You also have a flashback to the day you discovered that you had been being trained your entire life by the people who killed your parents. So even in this moment of great heroism, you are having to deal with the memory of your parents' death. And so in this moment, I also think that you feel insecure, because you realize, are these skills that I'm using to fight her, do they make me a hero? Or because they were taught to me by villains, are they going to make me become a villain someday? So mark the condition insecure, which means that you take a -2 to defend someone from an immediate threat or reject others' influence. But she is wrapped up snug in your bolo arrow and your boxing glove, and she rolls, falls to the floor, and she opens her mouth to scream, "Crimson!" Roll to take a powerful blow.
I defend myself by putting on the headphones of my costume?
Yes, you can defend yourself. You can defend yourself.
What is that? Is there any plus to defending?
It's
Savior.
plus your savior.
Mm-hmm. That is a 8.
Rolled an 8. Okay. So that's going to cost you. It's going to escalate the situation, but it does either let you add a team to the pool, clear a condition, or take influence. Technically, it's for defending another person, but I would say in this case, because you're grabbing the headphones, it's an act of self-defense. So I think that...
I'm going to add another team to the pool.
Yeah. Okay, add a team to the pool, but it definitely escalates the situation because now she is angry and she's now going to turn her screams onto Sequence. So Lifeline, take your action as she prepares to aim her sonic scream at Sequence.
I look at how it has jarred Crimson and I know I can't let that happen. So I reach out and I try to unleash my powers to knock her unconscious by sucking the life out of her.
Okay, I would like you to roll to unleash your powers. That is plus your freak, so you should be good to go.
That will be a 10.
That will be a 10. All right. So sometimes things work a little too well.
Oh no.
As you grab hold of her, you begin to suck the life force out of Lena's body. And with it, she begins to grow pale. She begins to shrivel as though the moisture is being sucked out of her. You can't stop. You're trying so hard and you can't stop. You managed it. You did such a good job of reining it in at the last moment. I could see on the faces of your teammates, there was a moment there where they were afraid of you because they realized how far you could go, but you pulled it off. And the last moment you let go of her and she doesn't die. She crumples limp and pale to the ground, maybe a little aged, maybe a little sickly, but still breathing. You can still feel the vibration of her life force. The hum of her life is still there, a little quieter, but it's still there.
I'll have this sort of deranged smile on my face for a moment before it suddenly disappears and I stumble back. Oh God!
I'm just gonna stare in awe for a second.
I didn't mean to. Oh.
I mean, you didn't kill her.
That was awesome. I'm gonna raise my hand for a high five.
By the way, Sequence, I'm so sorry. I think you pulled the Sequence off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I'm liking this name more and more, Sequence, a sequence
You're
of
becoming your own
attacks.
person.
Yeah. I'm sequence breaking. I'm no clipping out of the
No clipping out.
I'm no clipping out of my path and sequence breaking.
On the floor, Lena suddenly reaches one arm up to you and opens her mouth and then goes limp, and her arm drops back down to the floor and her eyes roll back in her head as she passes out. She's definitely unconscious. So, how are we wrapping this one up, team? Are we turning her over to the authorities with all of the information that you have gathered?
I pick up her body, lean her on me, take a selfie, again, send it to the bagel girl. Then I'm gonna call the police and say, hi, up and coming hero here. We got a little situation. You should probably come here and detain somebody.
Okay, well, the police in Halcyon City are used to dealing with costumed crusaders, so they send their special metahuman unit there. Are you going to stick around until they come, or are you going to leave the scene and leave the evidence behind?
I'm gonna tie her up and I'm just gonna get out of Dodge.
Let's get out of Dodge, guys.
You teleport out of there.
The secret heroes.
Just as you see the blue lights spinning, coming up through the window, you can see that they have come into the street outside. If you peer out the window, you can see them there. Ooh, yeah, they definitely sent the metahuman SWAT team with them. Probably a good idea to get out of here. So Crimson, you take their hands, and the three of you teleport.
And we teleport to Reggie's.
Hey.
And there at Reggie's, you share a celebratory
Root beer float.
And a bagel.
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 and Crimson. You get a text back from the bagel girl. She'd like to have dinner.
Hey.
Ooh. Good job, heroes.
I'm gonna like type out Reggie's question mark and then delete it and then go, yeah, sounds good.
All right. Good job, heroes. This is your first big threat working together, and I think you did a pretty good job. Nobody murdered anyone. Crimson saw a couple things that they might not ever be able to unsee, and it's possible that that janitor might have some mild brain damage, but hey, everybody walked out of it alive. Sequence has a new superhero name. Lifeline, you're actually, after sucking all that life force, you're probably feeling the best you felt in ages. A little less frail.
Look at my skin and it looks like a touch better before, and it's like I'm stuck between being happy to find something that's slowing my decaying and being stuck in horror of what if I can't stop myself? What if the only way to stop my decaying is to steal others' life? But I'll decide that it's probably not I don't want to deal with moral questions right now. I'm going to enjoy that root beer float.
All right. Enjoy your root beer floats, everybody. Good job, heroes.